Breaking news from the stadium tonight as an anonymous fan foot the bill for 55,000 hot dogs, bringing that sweet tubed meat to everyone in attendance.
Free dogs! Yeah!
55,000 hot dogs? What does that even cost?
While the identity of this Frankfurter philanthropist remains anonymous, their all-beefy generosity will go down in history.
The new Mega Millions. More to win means more to give. How you spend it is up to you. Yeah!
For game odds and details, visit sceducationlottery.com.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You've probably seen the alerts blowing up your phone, but wow. Wow. The NBA landscape just got completely shaken up, didn't it?
No, absolutely. It's one of those trades you hear rumors about, but when it actually happens...
Yeah.
Seismic is the right word.
Kevin Durant. Traded to the Houston Rockets. It still sounds kind of wild to say out loud.
It really does.
So, our mission today for this deep dive is to get beyond just the headline. We all know what happened, right? KD's a Rocket. But we need to dig into the why. Why now? Why these teams?
Right, what it means going forward.
Exactly. What happens next? Because this move, it instantly makes the Rockets a serious contender. It completely changes the power balance, especially in the West.
Yeah, it really does. And, got to give props to the reporters, the insiders like Shams Charania, Adrian Wojnarowski. They were all over the details as this thing came together.
Absolutely. The reporting is going to be crucial as we try and piece this all together.
For sure.
Okay, so let's dive in. Kevin Durant to Houston. Huge headline. But what were the actual nuts and bolts of this deal? What did each side get?
Well, it was pretty complex, as these big ones always are. So Houston, obviously, they get the main prize. Kevin Durant from Phoenix, that's the franchise-altering piece right there.
The Slim Reaper himself?
Yep. And then Phoenix, in return, they get quite a haul back. They get two key young players from Houston, Alperen Sengun.
Oh, wow, Senga.
Yeah, Sengun, the playmaking center with huge upside, and Jalen Green, the dynamic scorer.
Okay, so real talent coming back.
Definitely. Plus, they get a ton of draft capital back, which they desperately needed. 3 unprotected first-round picks from Houston. The word is it's likely 2027, 2029, and 2031.
Unprotected. That's huge.
Huge. And 2 pick swaps on top of that, probably 2028 and 2030. And it looks like Dylan Brooks is also heading to Phoenix, probably through a sign-and trade or maybe an extension first.
Wow. Okay, so for Houston, this is the definition of all in, isn't it? They're pushing all their chips to the middle of the table.
Absolutely. They're sacrificing a lot of their future flexibility, those young guys, those picks, for a shot at the title now.
Which puts immense pressure on them, right?
Yeah.
Like, this has to work, and probably pretty quickly.
Yeah, the window with Durant isn't infinite. There's definitely pressure to win big starting next season.
So let's flip it. Why did Phoenix do this? I mean, they put together that big 3 not that long ago. What happened?
Well, it just didn't work out, did it? That experiment with Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, they invested a ton of money, traded away a ton of picks.
Yeah, they gave up a lot.
They did. And they just didn't get the results. They didn't make a deep playoff run last season. And it felt like they'd kind of hit a ceiling, an expensive one at that.
So this trade was almost necessary for them.
You could argue that. I think there were 3 main reasons. First, like we said, getting back draft capital and young talent. They had basically emptied the cupboards. Getting Sengun and Green gives them 2 really promising young guys to build around. Plus, all those future picks, it restocks the assets.
Okay, asset replenishment. Makes sense.
Second, financial flexibility. Durant's contract is massive, right? We're talking over $50 million per year for the next couple of years.
Right, huge number.
Moving that money gives them breathing room under the cap. real breathing room. It allows them to potentially build a more balanced roster around Booker and Beal, maybe add depth they couldn't afford before.
Right, they were pretty top-heavy.
Exactly. And third, it's just a reset of their timeline. They're shifting from this win now at all costs mode with an older core to developing a younger group alongside Booker. It's a pivot towards maybe more sustained competitiveness down the line rather than this short-term gamble.
So for the Suns, it's kind of like taking a step back to hopefully take 2 steps forward later.
Yeah.
A strategic pivot, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. They get younger, get picks, get flexible.
Some set up pretty well, yeah.
Okay, now, Houston. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. For them, this feels like the finish line of that long rebuild they went through.
It absolutely does. You know, ownership, Rafael Stone, Coach Udoka, they clearly decided the time to wait is over. The time to win is now.
And they had some nice young pieces already, right, before this trade.
Oh, yeah. A really promising group. You had Amen Thompson coming off a great rookie year, super athletic, great passer, defender. Jabari Smith Jr. developing that shot in defense. Tari Eason, a defensive menace.
Red Van Vliet running the show.
Van Vliet for veteran leadership, exactly. Reed Shepard maybe coming in via the draft with that shooting. And Dylan Brooks, whose toughness Udoka clearly values.
So a good young core, but they needed the guy.
That's it. Durant is the guy. He's the missing piece. His scoring ability is just off the charts, elite shooting, can create his own shot anytime. He instantly makes their offense incredibly dangerous.
And that gravity effect, too, right? Defenses just have to warp around him.
Totally. Think about it. Defenses have to pay so much attention to KD. That just opens up everything for everyone else. Easier shots for Jabari, clearer lanes for Amen to drive. It changes the whole geometry of the court.
Plus the experience he brings.
Oh, massively important. 2 championships with the Warriors. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level. That kind of leadership, that presence in the locker room for young guys like Thompson and Smith Jr., you can't put a price on that.
So the bottom line for Houston is they're not hoping for the playoffs anymore. They're aiming for the whole thing.
Immediately. They are right in the mix, a legitimate contender in the West, aiming for a deep playoff run, maybe even the finals.
And with Ime Udoka coaching,
Yeah.
he loves defense, he's intense. How do you see KD fitting into that? Can they be elite on both ends?
That's going to be fascinating to watch. Udoka will demand defensive effort. Durant's a capable defender when engaged. If they can blend Durant's offense with Udoka's defensive principles, yeah, they could be a really, really tough two-way team. Very formidable.
Okay, let's talk about Jalen Green for a minute. He was the number 2 pick just a few years ago, a big part of this deal going back to Phoenix. His time in Houston was kind of up and down, wasn't it?
It was. You saw these incredible flashes of scoring brilliance, just explosive athleticism. But then there were stretches of, questionable shot selection, defensive lapses, inconsistency. The potential is obviously immense.
The lead athlete can score in bunches.
For sure. But the efficiency, the decision-making, the defense, it wasn't always there consistently. Still, tons of talent.
So this move to Phoenix, maybe a change of scenery is good for him. A fresh start.
I think it could be. It feels like a chance for a new beginning. In Phoenix, maybe there's a clearer path for him to be a featured scorer, even alongside Booker and Beal. With the Suns shifting towards youth development now, maybe the pressure isn't quite as intense. Immediate championship pressure anyway.
Right, the pressure's kind of shifted to Houston now.
Exactly. So Phoenix can maybe afford to let him develop, work on his game, improve those efficiencies without needing him to be perfect right away. It might actually be better for his long-term development.
Okay, so let's try and picture this. What do these teams actually look like on the court next season, say 2025, 26? What are the potential starting lineups?
All right, let's sketch it out. For Houston, you could be looking at, say, Fred Van Vliet at the point, Amen Thompson maybe at the 2.
Thompson starting. Interesting.
Could be. Or maybe Brooks slots back in there. Then Durant at the 3, Jabari Smith Jr. at the 4, and Steven Adams at center, assuming he's healthy and back.
That's a big lineup.
It's huge length, yeah. Van Vliet, Thompson, Durant, Smith Jr., Adams. That's versatile. And then off the bench, you still got guys like Dylan Brooks if he comes off the bench, Tari Eason, maybe Reed Shepard. It's a deep, talented team now. Elite scoring potential.
Okay, and Phoenix. What's left after the dust settles?
Well, their backcourt is still potent, right?
Yeah.
Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. You slot Jalen Green in there, probably at the 3, and Alperen Sengun takes over at center.
Okay. What about power forward?
That's the big question mark. They've got a hole there, but now they have that cap flexibility we talked about and those draft picks. They'll be looking to fill that spot, add more defense, more depth. But that core of Booker, Beal, Green, and Sengun has a lot of offensive firepower. Just different. More focused on the future, perhaps.
Definitely different. Let's zoom out a bit. What does this mean for KD's legacy? This is team number 4, is it? 5 if you count the Sonics separately.
Yeah, Sonics, Thunder, Warriors, Nets, Suns, and now Rockets. It's his 5th jersey, technically. Look, his legacy as one of the all-time great scorers, one of the most purely talented players ever. It's secure, right?
Unquestionably.
But this move, joining another team, a younger team this time, it just reinforces his relentless pursuit of more championships. He's clearly not content. And remember, he's still got significant contract commitment, about $51 million next year, nearly $55 the year after, then a player option.
So he's committed to this Rockets run.
Yeah.
And the market reaction was instant, right? Vegas odds shifted immediately.
Oh, yeah. Rockets championship odds got way shorter. Suns odds got longer. The betting markets see Houston as a much bigger threat now, and Phoenix taking a step back, at least for the moment.
And you have to think this kicks off more moves, right? Like the offseason just got thrown into hyperspeed.
Absolutely. This happened even before the draft. It's going to ignite everything. Teams that wanted Durant might pivot. Other stars might become available. Woj and Shams are probably not sleeping much right now.
Yeah, their phones must be melting. You wonder if this puts pressure on other contenders too. Like, does Milwaukee feel more pressure regarding Giannis rumors, even if it's unrelated? It just heats everything up.
It definitely raises the temperature across the league. Everyone's reevaluating.
And it's worth remembering, amidst all the strategy and picks and money, there's a human side. KD, Jalen Green, Sengun, Brooks. These guys are packing up their lives, moving cities. Big changes for them and their families.
That's a really important point. We talk about assets and trades, but these are people navigating major life shifts. It's easy to forget that sometimes.
We even saw, Senator Ted Cruz tweeting his excitement.
Yeah, he's a big Rockets fan. Shows you the level of excitement down there. Kind of has that Pat Riley push all the chips in feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Rockets are tired of rebuilding. They want to win now.
No doubt about it. So to wrap this up, this Kevin Durant trade, it's just monumental. It completely redraws the map of the NBA, especially the Western Conference.
It really does. You've got Houston going into hyper-aggressive win-now mode, while Phoenix makes a calculated pivot towards youth, picks, and future flexibility. 2 completely contrasting strategies playing out.
So the big questions for you, the listener, to think about. For Houston, did they give up too much? Can this gamble actually pay off with a championship? How fast can KD and this young core actually click together under Udoka?
And for Phoenix, what's the long-term play? Can Jalen Green reach his potential in this new environment? How do they build around Booker and Sengun now?
And maybe the biggest question of all, how does the rest of the league respond? Because they're scrambling right now. The dominoes have started falling. Definitely keep an eye on this.
It's going to be a fascinating offseason.
For sure. We encourage you to keep digging into this one yourself. Lots to unpack.
Having a life scholarship and being able to afford to go to college made me feel inspired to go.
When I got a life scholarship, it was such a relief.
I knew that I wanted to have an impact. Having a life scholarship through the SC Education Lottery was huge. It gave me the opportunity to make that impact right here at home.
The South Carolina Education Lottery. A better you, a better us, a better South Carolina. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No